Okay, hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions. Myself Ashwin, and BISP Solutions is a tech company provide technological solutions across the world. Now this is our day 29, and within our last 28-day journey we have seen so many things like what is business analyst, what skills does he require, then how many types of business analyst is there, right? When business analysts are there, then ERP versus traditional projects, right? So we have discussed all these things within our last 1 month journey. Now look at this: Jira, Confluence. We have seen all types of use cases, all types of user stories. We have seen what is agile format, right? And we have also seen that how the data is read. Why Python? We have taken two things. One is NetSuite implementation project and another is like Python implementation project. So we have discussed all the aspect of business analyst, that how a business analyst works, right? Then we have seen what is the role of each and every phase of the end-to-end implementation. If it's a NetSuite project or implementation project, then what should be the role? And if it's a project development like website development project, in that case what will be the role, right? So after that today we have seen everything so far within the last 28 days. Now today is our 29th day, and today we are going to see installation, tools installation, right? So far we have done everything, but now suppose if a business analyst is given a laptop, now what type of tools he should install? Now see, again one thing is there: tools or the application or the softwares, there are two variations. One is the desktop applications and one is the cloud application. Now suppose if you talk about the Postman application, Postman. Now in this Postman application, one, either you can download the Postman, right, client, Postman client on your desktop, and then you can execute that, and then you can make use of that Postman application. Or the second way is that you can create the credentials on online Postman application, and then you can make use of it, right? So there are two things. Similarly, there are so many applications. For example, if you see, we have discussed on draw.io, right, for creation of the flowcharts. So in that flowchart also, the draw.io, you can easily download it. Or we can, if we talk about the Slacks or Jira, they are also providing both. So let's discuss first introduction. Now see here, introduction. Purpose of this guide: help business analyst install and set up essential business analyst tool. Suppose if a person is appointed for accounts, so what he will do first? He will first check that whether the MS Office Excel sheet is installed properly. Then he will see whether the Tally, if he is working on Tally or if he is working on SAP, whatever. So first of all, he will check it first, that exactly the tools are installed properly, and once they are installed properly, then he will start working on it. Similarly, a business analyst, when a business analyst is assigned a task, or he is deployed on a project, implementation project or a website development project, any type of project. So first of all, his basic task is to at least install all the necessary tools that he requires. The one very basic tool is MS Word, Excel sheet, MS Word, right? Second basic tool is draw.io for flowchart. Third necessary tool is like Excel sheet, which is already given, right? Fourth, you can see here Figma. Figma is used for like prototyping of like HTML pages, right? For example, let me make it a little bigger size, right? Now see here, second point is covers tools for documentation, requirement gathering, modeling and project collaboration. So these are the tools. For example, the task of the business analyst is documentation, requirement gathering, modeling and project collaboration. Now documentation means MS Word, Excel sheet. Requirement gathering, same, MS Word, Excel sheet. And one more, draw.io for modeling. Modeling means to show the process flow diagram, right? To show the process flow diagram. So just hold on. To show the process flow diagram, so the business analyst needs draw.io. And project collaboration. Now for project collaboration there are so many applications available like Slacks, Jira, Zoho, Monday.com. There is one more, few more applications are there. So these are some tools. Now first of all, let's discuss on this Jira or Confluence. Requirement and project management. Requirement and project. Just hold on. Okay, yes. Now Jira, Confluence. So requirement and project management. Requirement management and project management. This Jira is used. See, basically Jira is used like suppose there are 10 candidates and 10 offshore team is there of 10 consultants, out of which 5 are like functional consultant and 5 are like technical consultant, and they are located in different cities. Nowadays the projects are, few projects they demand for work from office, but few projects they demand from, they are flexible with work from home also. So now Jira is used for these type of handling these type of projects, like where the candidates are located in different cities. So from there, from one place the administrator assigns the task to the candidates, and then the they whatever they have done whole day, they have just inserted in that Jira so that he can track. Now MS Visio and Lucid Chart, or we can add one more, the draw.io. So process modeling, right? Let me add here one more, that is draw.io, right? So process modeling, flowcharts, right? And UML design. Draw.io is basically used for flowchart. The biggest best use for what the draw.io is developed. Okay, so flowcharting is the main task of the draw.io. Now Figma, if you talk about, like just give me a second, 1 second, let me show you. Yes, I am back. Now see here, Balsamic, right? Balsamic. Now here this Figma and Balsamic. So let me explain you first about Figma. Figma is also a prototyping. In my recent project, which was in like Python and React Native. So in that, the candidates, they use Figma for framing the HTML pages. See what happens when we develop a website. So first of all, we have to show the HTML page design, how your HTML page will look like, which field comes in which area. So for that, because directly creation of HTML and CSS page, it requires efforts. So before that, it is better to create a framework of the HTML page and then show them, okay, this is how your HTML page looks like. Similarly, balsamic, if I show you this, look at this, balsamic wireframe your way to faster, better, productive decisions. Look at this, it is showing that how your application will look like. Actually, the actual HTML page or the view of Android is not directly created, it is just for showing that how your page looks like. Look at this, this is how the final output comes. Actually, this page is not functional right now. This is just for showing the client that, okay, this is how your application will work or application will look like. Whatever the information on the page, that page will look like this, right? So look at this, this is how we create button and all these things, we drag and drop here, right? So in this way you can see here, right? Now let's come here again. So Figma is also same for prototyping. MS Excel and Google Sheet, requirement analysis and data documentation. Now requirement analysis, for example, how many requirement, every requirement is having its own ID. Now in that case, let's suppose like a test case scenario, test case scripts. For writing the test case script, the PPT is required, right? PPT is required. Let me open that example also. Just give me a second. One second. Nah? Yes. Now see here, this is called unit test case script, right? So for this is called the PPT for test cases, right? So this is how when you will conduct a unit testing. So in that case, you have to provide this type of script, that on after which page where you have to enter what data, right? So that is why this PPT is required. Now suppose if you talk about like unit test cases, right? Unit test. Now if I show you this also, just a second, look at this. Every test case is having its own test ID. What will be the role for testing, what module you are testing for, what is the test case, then what is the test case script, how it is connected with this, right? Which slide you have to refer while testing this test case, then action to be taken, what action you have to take, then what will be the URL, then expected result is what, and what is the actual result. So actual result is already pre-filled, right? Because we know, the developer know what result should be there. But what is the expected result? Oh sorry, expected result is already written. Actual result, this cell J column will be filled by the user who will be testing. Okay, so this is the actual result, and this test result tested by error showing yes, no, right? So this is a repetitive process. Now if we show you this, we have already discussed in our previous sessions. Now Figma is done, Google Sheet is done. Now SQL Python optional. SQL Python optional, the reason is that suppose now for example, let me give you one example. Let's take a software development project, because in end-to-end implementation there is no need of like SQL. In few projects it may require, but let's take a software development, website development project. In that, what happens, whatever the like we have developed a project for like school management system, or we can say the college management system, right? Now in that, once the data is shown on the HTML page, right, our technical person demonstrate the application, right, website, how it works. But many times what happens, for cross check, we show on one window our business analyst also opens the backend database, and then we have to show, because many times what happens, the client is also having some technical knowledge. So in that case, to convince him, to show him, to satisfy him that we have done exactly what you wanted, so we show them the backend also, because many times the client also demand to show him the backend. So in that case, it is necessary to show him. So that is why SQL installation is required, SQL and Python both. Now SQL and Python is installed by developer on business analyst laptop, but he has to show at least on his laptop, like, look at this, how it works, right? So that's why it is optional. Now tools installation guide. Now see, prerequisite before installation. So what are the things that you want? Nowadays actually this RAM and operating system compatibility, now like 15 to 20 years back there was a limitation, like 4 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM was there, but now today 8 GB RAM is quite common for every laptop. So no need to specify the hardware requirement, but still it is mandatory to show in the document. So that's why prerequisite before installation. Now ensure system requirements, RAM, operating system compatibility and browser version. Normally in every laptop minimum 8 GB RAM is there. The person installs 8 GB RAM, and then operating system like Windows latest version, and browser version, that is also latest. Stable internet connection, right? Nowadays today every service provider gives you stable internet connection. Admin rights for desktop apps like MS Visio, school SQL tools. Yeah, this business analyst must have a little knowledge of like MS Visio, where to navigate and how to open MS Visio, and SQL tools, right? So these are some basic information that a business analyst must have, right? Now email ID for tool registration. Now see, many applications that requires your office or company email. Yes, there are few tools where your normal like peter@gmail.com or peter@outlook.com does not work there. If you are working in a company, then only it will allow you to create an account, otherwise it will not allow you. There are some tools, right? So that is why email ID is required for tool registration. Okay, like if you see in like a Microsoft Azure, recently I have worked on a project of like Azure, so they were installing something on Azure. So in that case it requires for like office email ID. So there are some tools where like your company email ID is required, right? Then installation steps, let's discuss on this also. Installation steps. Now general flow: download tool from like official website, company license portal. Run the installer. Now see, when you will type something on the internet, right? Let me show you that also. Just come to here and like I type here postman download for Windows, right? So Postman, look at this, get started for free, right? And here you can see install and update Postman, and there is get the Postman apps, like so. This is what download tool from official website, and then company license portal, or it's a portal given by company. So first of all you have to download that tool and then run the installer. Now when you will download that, like suppose if I show you practically, download Postman, get started for free. Now see, there are two options. One is directly sign up for free. So if you are using web application of Postman, then in that case sign up for free. So your data will, or everything you have to do it on internet when the internet connection is on. Otherwise you can download it from here, right? So once you download it, then one zip executable file will be downloaded, and then you have to execute. So that is called run installer. Okay, the installer, normally direct application will not be downloaded. One installer file will be downloaded, and that installer file will execute or will install the application on your laptop. That is the process. Then sign up with company credentials, right? In that you have to sign up with your company credentials, and then you have to log in. Now configure basic settings. First of all you have to, in that application you have to do some basic settings if required. Not necessary in every application it will be required, but yeah, time zone, workspace, team access, whatever. Then test by creating a sample project or document. Now test by creating a sample. When we use like Postman, we also test it by creating some sample RESTlet script, and then we test it. Okay, so test by creating a sample project or document. So this is how the installation steps that you have to follow. Now example of installation, right? I am giving you some example. This I have explained you. Look at this, Jira. Go to Atlassian website, sign up, create workspace, add team members. That's it, right? For example, let's do this. Now look at this. Now look at this. Okay, now look at this, Atlassian and Jira by Atlassian, whatever written here. Go to Atlassian website, sign up, create workspace. Now when you will sign up here, start for free trial, right? When you will go here, free trial, and then you have to sign up, right? Here let me show you that also. Sign up. Okay, so in this way you have to do the sign up, and then now look at this. One more thing I would like to show you here. Slack is also a application, right, for team management. Okay, so now if you see, go to Atlassian website, sign up, create workspace, and then add team members, and then you can make use of this Jira. Now here also there are some free options. For example, let me show you about this. If you go back, pricing, if I show you the pricing, there are some options like free and the subscription based. So you have to look at this. Free, get it now. Unlimited goals, project, task, backlog list, 100 automation runs, 2 GB storage, support from up to 10 users. Up to 10 users you can make use of Jira free. But suppose if your company is having like 1 lakh users per site, now in that case here they have provided you the storage limit also, and 1700 automation rule runs per month, right? So this type of facilities are given. So that is why there are some subscription based, right? So that's why now if you see Lucid Chat also, create free account, verify email, and start with templates. Similarly, Balsamic, download desktop app, install, activate license key. And SQL Developer, install Oracle SQL Developer, connect to database with provided credentials, right? So in this way you can easily install it, right? Now post installation checklist, right? Now let's discuss that also. Post installation checklist. Post installation checklist means verify login access. Now first of all, see, once you have uploaded, downloaded, and then you have installed it, everything, then you have sign up also. Now you have to check verify login access, okay. Check integration with other tools. Now this is like post installation checklist means whatever you have to do now with the post after the installation. So check integration with other tools, one point. Check a sample requirement document diagram, okay, when you have downloaded that draw.io, right? Then save installation guide in shared repository of team for team reference. Now in suppose if you have created account on Jira, so in that case, suppose if you have to put one document also, and then you have to check it, right? So all in all, in this today's session we have seen like the agenda is tool installation guide, how to install the tool. So I have given you the idea that tools are of two types. One is desktop application and one is like browser application, like which is completely cloud based. You have to do the login to make use of that tool. Secondly, some like here there are few applications which are designed for a specific task, like draw.io for flowchart, Figma for like wireframing, okay, and then Google Sheet for test case scenario, test case, and PPT for test case script, SQL, MySQL, and like for showing the database backend activity. After that you will see here prerequisite. What are the prerequisite? Your RAM should be very high, your like the tools should be installed, okay. Now installation steps: either download the tool or and run the installer, or you can either log in and sign up and then log in, right, and then configure basic setting. Test by creating a sample project or document, right? After that, these are some standard flow of like downloading or creating a new application, right? New account in the application. Like in Jira, you have to go to Atlassian website and then sign up and then create workspace and then add team members, right? Lucid chart, same thing, everything, Balsamic and SQL developer. And post installation means after installation you have to test. For example, if I downloaded the draw.io and I have opened it, but that draw.io is working fine, how would I know? For that I have to create one sample flowchart in that, okay. I have to create a flowchart in that. So create a sample requirement doc and document, and then save installation guide in shared repository for team reference. Now there since beginning I have been telling you that there can be n number of documents in a project. It is not fixed, like 2 documents or 5 documents or 15 documents. Now here you have it is written installation guide is shared, and now save installation guide in shared repository. Many times what happens, there are some supporting applications that you need to download and install, so you have to give the complete guide for that also, right? So installation guide in shared repository. So this is what the task of the business analyst at the time of so that is at the time of the hand over the project, or at the time of working on the project, the business analyst must have such type of installation knowledge. Okay, so guys, today we will stop here, because in this today's session we have seen only the tools for tools installation guide. There are two types of tools, just remember these 2 points. Few tools are freely available and few tools are subscription based, number 1 point. Some tools having the desktop application also available, and some tools are having only website application, right? And after downloading that tool and installation, you have to create one requirement document. That's it. So tools, having the knowledge of tools and having the knowledge of installation, downloading and installation of tools. So these are some additional skills a business analyst must know, right? So guys, this is a very simple today's webinar for installation guide, right? You can easily download any application and install it. Okay, tomorrow will be our last day of the webinar, so tomorrow we will see some we will discuss on some other topic, right? So almost we have covered all the important topics, and those who have joined me in the middle of the webinar journey, I highly recommend you to please go through those initial videos also, from the beginning, first video till today. I definitely assure you that you will be having a complete clarity of how to become a business analyst, right? So tomorrow we will talk about business analyst certifications, and where can we do the certification course, all these things, and some other miscellaneous topics, right? So guys, and if you have not subscribed my channel, so please subscribe, like and subscribe the channel. Okay, so thank you guys, thanks for attending the webinar, and those who have attended the webinar since day 1, for them also I would like to thank you, right? Okay, so today we will stop here, and tomorrow we will discuss on some other topics. Okay guys, thank you, thanks for attending the webinar.